No, so I'm saying I had my pants on, but during that Rumble, you gotta.
Hey, listen, Jada Parker looks like somebody I need to go investigate.
I mean,
That's all.
it was a great match.
Just a great match
for research purposes.
It was a great match.
So what part do they wrestle on?
NXT.
Yeah, they on NXT.
Okay, they don't wrestle. Okay, got you.
We're live.
Speaking of NXT,
Let's do it live. Let's do it live.
Jesus.
All right. Breeze Nation, what's good? It's your boy Panther Designer back at it again. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. As y'all can see, it's been a while since we've had this many up in this month. We got the squad in the building.
Yeah.
As always, super producer Joel.
That was nice.
That was nice.
I like that one. I like that one. That was good.
Spartans like,
That was
my bad. It looked like my bad.
That was disrespectful. We got super producer Joel Holt, the pettiest man alive, Kid in the building, Mr. Media himself, George JC, man, formerly known as Ringo J, Stefan the Don, of course, running the ones and twos. We got Mr. Drew Better, you knew better, say who better? Nobody, bro. And is that Superman C-Dub back there? I believe that it is.
Hey,
I believe that it is. Mutt Greer said it's a breezy night and the pump. There you go. You know what I mean? Hey, you get what you get. I was watching WWE the other day.
he got a lot of motion going on right here. Feeling some type of way. Hey, it's got it's involvement over here.
Yo, shut up with the side punch.
No, sir.
He's mobile.
You know what JC reminds me of? JC reminds me of a dude that used to dance but got big.
Oh, yeah.
Still got all the motion. Like he still got
baby. You know, touch a little salsa bachata.
Hey,
merengue.
Hey, let him show you his salsa.
Hey, come on.
His Mexican skit?
Come on.
Crazy, dog.
Hey, no. We're not going to talk about that.
Hey, I laughed at that for a while, bro.
Let's get to the show. Let's go.
Bears extending Ryan Poles. We got to talk about this per ESPN. Seems like they're going to align him up with his Johnson. Bears coaching staff additions. We got to break that down as well. Take a look at some of the Bulls' next moves and then finish out the show talking about Myles Garrett requesting
we got a Bulls topic that's not last.
Wow.
I am in on
What a hole.
What a hole.
That was a terrible.
What's
a
up,
terrible
Mama?
time, Tim.
Oh, sorry. And he did it again.
I told y'all I should have took it away from him.
Of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do.
We're never getting through all these topics.
We'll get there.
We'll be like 2 minutes.
Let's start it off here, boys. Courtney Cronin, shout out to Courtney Cronin, my co-host over on the Chicago Bears podcast.
Big flex.
Talked about in her recent article, phenomenally named Tequila Shots, a shocking loss, a big contract inside the Bears hiring of Ben Johnson. She talked about in there how the situation now is going to be different and has been different, and how the hiring process has been completely different. And everybody who went through the process talked about how the Bears seemed like a serious organization in this entire process. And now I think you have to have the conversation on, okay, most of our brains go, okay, when's Ryan Poles getting extended? What's happening? We're still waiting on our GM. Well, she actually dropped a couple of interesting nuggets in this article where, number one, a team source with knowledge of the situation says that Poles' deal is not in the last year of his deal, but in fact runs through 2026. So we've got this year and next year for Ryan Poles' deal, which realistically at the end of it means you're negotiating a deal soon, but also that the expectation is he will receive an extension to align him with Johnson, who signed a 5-year contract with the Chicago Bears, a term that is common for first-time head coaches. So you're talking about the possibility of Ryan Poles being signed through 2030. Boys, when you hear Ryan Poles getting this extension, we talked about Ryan Poles. I've talked about a lot of the struggles that I think you put Caleb Williams through in year one and why I would move on from him from that situation. But it seems like we've really flipped the script here. Are you okay with Ryan Poles getting an extension and being trusted till 2030?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. I think realistically, it kind of just does a couple of things. And I love this for the Bears organization as a whole. It qualms all the stuff that the Bears do things backwards. The Bears are being stupid, this, that, and the other. We now have at least to some degree, a legitimate roadmap as to who's going to be here, who's calling the shots. We're giving them a good enough time to actually turn things around. Well, hopefully by then we're in Arlington or wherever the heck the stadium's going to be.
Hopefully we got a stadium.
Hopefully we got a stadium by then, right? But all in all, it's like, hey, it seems as if the Bears not only have doubled down in making sure that they open the checkbook to get coaches, but they've doubled down in showing the world that, hey, we have faith in what Ryan Post has brought to the table and we back him. So I love to see it all the way around.
We back.
It's funny how you
back
can
up, baby.
We back.
It's funny how you can change the narrative just like that, because we were just talking about Ryan Poles being on the hot seat, and we don't know if this guy actually can do his job. His hand being held by Kevin Warren, this offseason being pivotal as far as what he's going to do and if he's going to be sticking around. Now you're talking about him being extended with the head coach for the next 5 years, which actually makes a lot of sense. Like PK said, you're handling yourself like a big boy organization. You're doing things the right way, and you can see the trust is starting to build back up because of the moves they made. They're investing money into the right things. The head coaches, the staff, they're getting an all-star staff with all of these great names, fitting in the right position. Like, I love the way this is kind of forming. And Ryan Post honestly has to take some of that credit. So I love the fact that he is getting an extension.
Yeah, I like the fact that he's getting an extension. The fact that he's basically in lockstep with Ben Johnson at this point, literally, it's something that I like. And listen, they're making a concerted effort with the monsters of coaches that they brought in. At this point, this is the monsters of coaching right now that they brought in. When you look at this, if he's able to keep Caleb off of his back, hey, listen, you might have a 5 to 10 year run where you solidify the GM spot, and the Bears actually look like, dare I say, they're doing things right.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm not mad at it. I love to see where this is going right now.
I would say this: what we're seeing is that this is Kevin Warren. They are aligned, so it's from the top down. So clearly, Kevin Warren likes polls. And now we got a coach. We have everything in place, and it's done the right way. Versus when Ryan Poles got here, it was all done backwards. They basically put a coach on them. Then they have the GM, McCaskey. They're all over the place. This is fully aligned. They want to win, and to me, this is a Kevin Warren effect, because that's what we were saying when he got here. We have to wait and see what he wants to do as he runs this team. So I think that this guy he's won before. He's had the structure that they've had before. So I like seeing what they've done. So it makes sense. I mean, Ryan Poles was still a rookie GM. Yeah. So now he's in year 4. Yeah. Yep. And I mean, so at least we're done with the rookie stuff.
We can't call him a rookie GM.
No, I'm saying when he first started, he was a rookie GM. Yeah. Now, year 1. Yeah, but now he's shown enough for for Warren that this is his guy. So now from the top down, the president to the GM to now the coaching staff, it's all aligned, and I like where we're going.
I'll give you credit on that, and Dub and Drew, y'all can jump in on this one. Like the change in the organization, just from what it seems like Kevin Warren walking in the door and saying, maybe you've made some wrong turns, but we're going to stick with you because I know that they suck.
Yeah. or
I know that they've messed up. I know that they've held your hand in certain moments. Like, does it feel like Kevin Warren is the change that has come here, or do you think it's Ryan Poles?
I think it's definitely Kevin Warren. I definitely think it's a change in how the Bears are perceived. I think the organization is realizing forever we've ran like a mom and pop shop.
Yeah.
And forever, we've done things backwards. We've hired the coach, then we get the quarterback a couple years later. The coach isn't married to the quarterback. The GM isn't married to the coach. It's just this ring around the rosy of no one's married to anybody. And because no one's married to anybody, there's no continuity. And therefore, you have this change that happens amongst the top positions, coach, GM, quarterback. Now, everything's aligned. And now that we got everything aligned, you have to give credit where credit is due. This got to go to Kevin Warren. He's put together a great foundation in Minnesota when he ran that franchise, and he's showing it here now. He didn't. Hey, listen, he was like, no qualms about it. We want to be great. We want Chicago to be great again, and he's making the Bears great again. So I'm gonna give it all credit to Warren on that one.
Actually, I think it's just basically the Bears stepping into the 21st century. Not even alignment, just the fact that we trying to do this to be an organization. Someone that we can build upon and go further. It's just not a 1 year and out. It's a progressive, continuous
Growth.
situation where we're growth and
Yeah.
trying to be like all the other top tier organizations. Hey man, we're like one of the originators of the NFL. So we have to,
we are.
we should be the standard.
Legitimately.
We are the originator of the NFL. So yeah, you should
Start
be the
here.
standard.
We should be
Hey,
the standard.
you want to know what the worst part about it is? We invented the quarterback position.
Yeah.
And then never got one again.
That's
They
nice.
had the best, the first one. What was it?
With your T formation.
Chicago Bears.
Yeah,
I'm playing that
Hey,
at the Super Bowl party.
Hey,
bro.
I used to-
Oh no!
I used to
And
hate
the
hearing
Super
that
Bowl
song,
Oh no!
but then I realized every team plays their old songs.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
No, I think here's my thing, right? When you hear that you're going to line him up with the coaching staff, Kevin Warren's probably going to be here longer than anybody, but to me that I think is a conversation on like Drew said, bringing you into the 21st century of how football is being run, because no matter what you do, you've made the decision. No matter how this works, you made the decision. Ben Johnson's going to be here.
Mhm.
Now, whether he finishes out the contract, right? That's dependent on how well he coaches, how well he develops Caleb Williams, how well, the Bears go out and actually make playoffs and go on hopeful playoff runs and hopefully win a Super Bowl, right? But it makes no sense not to marry him when you let him hire the coach.
Facts.
And that was the one thing where it was like, are you going to have a lame duck GM year? And we'll talk about the Myles Garrett situation here coming up. But not having a lame duck GM year in this, to me, offers you the opportunity to say, I'm not taking gambles. You want to know what happened in a lame duck GM year? We traded up to go get Justin Fields, but we had nothing else to help him with.
There was no real
Because
plan.
the plan was fix Justin or get Justin, and then maybe he'll just be a
quarterback.
godsend for us.
Or you just get a quarterback to fix your mistake.
And
Trubisky.
you had nothing else that actually worked in your favor because you didn't have anybody building the organization. Now, I still don't trust Ryan Poles in the draft right now.
I'm not
Yeah,
going
no,
there.
I do.
I don't trust
Now
it.
I do.
I do
don't
with
try-
the
I don't
staff.
trust it.
I do with the staff.
I
He has the
listen,
right people
listen.
there now to
Yeah.
say, don't do that.
I hope so.
You
And
know?
we'll see. And guess what? Maybe everything will change. If we feel that way, we got to see that play out.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Ben Johnson be
We were just
the
loving
leader
his
of a
drafts.
team in a draft. Which one?
I'm just saying. We got Brisker, Kyler Gordon.
Uh-huh.
You got Darnell
Commissioner
Wright.
Gordon,
You
yeah.
got Caleb. We got Rome. You got Javon Dexter.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's been here this is his fourth year. He's
Right.
gotten his first rounds and second rounds have been hidden. The third through the whatever, and we got a punter.
I'll say this. I don't,
So to that point,
Jordan,
so to that
What's
point,
sour take?
right now, and I think Caleb will be, but right now you have the third best quarterback in the draft. You have the sixth
That's
best wide
tough
receiver
to
in the
say.
draft.
I'm just saying he's
So we talk about
He
the draft.
hasn't
We
been
talk
a-
about the draft
I'm
right now.
saying you act
Right
like
now
he's
you
been
have
trash.
the third best quarterback in the draft.
You're-
You have
who's
the
better?
sixth-
based off coach.
Bo
better?
Nix and
Bo
Jaden
Nix
Daniels.
I wouldn't say.
I was
Bo
gonna
Nix.
say, I'm gonna say Bo
What
Nix.
are you talking about?
Bo Nix balled this year.
I know he balled.
Bo
I'm
Nix
saying-
balled this year.
I'm
But
just-
but even so,
Playoffs?
I think that it's not to say that Caleb can't still be the best.
If
I
Caleb
think
was in those
he was put in a
situations.
terrible situation, right? But you have the third best quarterback in the draft. You have the sixth best wide receiver in the draft.
No, they were all the highly rated. You
You
got
have
the third.
your
the
ninth
second rated-
overall pick is
Oh,
the sixth
you-
best wide
you
You
receiver
got
in
the
the
third.
draft.
You got the
don't
third
wanna
rated
do that.
receiver.
Situation
You
in
got
that
the
case.
number one
You
quarterback.
got the third?
Everybody wanted
The
Caleb.
third?
That's great.
Yeah, because it was Neighbors and
Yeah, but right now,
Marvin
at
Harrison.
Neighbors
the,
and Marvin
but
Harrison. So
right
he was
now,
the third best.
I'm telling you what it is standing at the end
Yeah,
of
but
the
that's based
season.
off trash coaching, bro.
That's great.
It's also based off
He
the
hired
need,
the
need on the
coach.
team.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right,
It's
all right.
based
Like-
off
like,
the
one at a time,
deficiencies
one at a
on the
time,
team.
one at a time.
Like
I
you're
wouldn't say
saying.
that the player themselves.
One at a time.
Yeah, true.
Xavier Worthy.
Like this is the thing. It is, yes, it's based off the situation. Who built the situation?
Do we like Brisker?
I like
Absolutely.
Brisker.
Do we like Kyler
Hold-
Gordon?
Hold on. I like Brisker. Brisker also misses a lot of time due to concussion.
I can't help. I mean, his head got rang. That's
Okay.
That's what it is. His
That-
belt got
it
rung.
is what it is. That is the fact
Either
of
way,
the matter right
that's
now.
just- but
He's a safety that I
when-
do think is very talented.
When playing, he's a good player, right?
Of course, but so is Tevin Jenkins.
But
He also
anybody
can't stay on the field.
anybody you draft could end up getting injured, but he still picked a good player.
For sure.
All right.
But what I'm saying is based off the results that you've seen right now, you can't say you have the best of the best out of any of these drafts.
What I'm
Now, I'm
no.
not saying that you can't get to the point, but you put Caleb Williams in the situation that he was in.
I got
You decided to ignore the offensive line. Nobody else told you go draft a punter.
Right.
Nobody else told you take a wide receiver at 9. Ryan Poles did that. So I can't sit here and go, well, it's the situation that Caleb Williams was in, and that's why he struggled. When you built the situation.
But that's a separate argument. The whole point is that if Caleb goes to a better team, then he's going to be the number 1 quarterback, right? But because he got here and he got basically beat up, Poles did do a great job of hiring the staff. But we're talking about the drafts. I'm not tripping on his draft.
I'm talking about
except for the later round.
No, I'm not tripping on the draft because we needed a quarterback.
Yeah, we
got a quarterback, whether it's going to be Jaden, Bo Nix, or Caleb, whoever you was going to pick. It was going to be in the same situation.
And while we're at it, we also have 100, 200, and 300 in the trap.
300 in the trap. That's a different one. 300 in the trap. Okay. Going back to the trap.
Hey, we need to get that blue curtain.
I'm telling you right now, dog. We're getting a blue curtain right there, dog. You got to take it back.
No, but Joe, I hear what you're saying. Caleb Williams would be better in a better situation.
But so he's talented.
100%. I never said Caleb Williams wasn't talented.
You draft off time.
So you drafted a talented guy.
Did I ever once say Caleb Williams wasn't talented?
Yeah,
in
that's
fact,
not the argument.
did right after
You're making
it.
a different argument.
In fact, right after it. No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No, he isn't.
No, I'm not. Let me finish the point.
Why don't you cook?
Caleb Williams is immensely talented. If he was in a better situation, he would be a better quarterback. We all agree, right?
That's true. Yes.
Who put the situation together?
Right.
Is he
Okay,
still
who
talented?
ignored the offensive line?
I get that. We're talking about that's now you're talking about personnel moves and hiring coaches. But either way,
him.
we said draft.
No,
We said
right.
draft.
No. Time out.
We
Joel
said
is right.
Draft.
He said that is he didn't draft a lineman because we needed a quarterback. I don't know about the Roma
He
Doom
said
thing,
the
but he
draft.
ignored everything. No, he's right on that one. There is a differentiator
in the draft. How is the offensive lineman been?
We said
in the draft
more hits
than linemen.
Look, I'm not
Karan
arguing with you
Amageji
that
ain't
he
played
didn't make
nobody.
all the great moves. He has more hits than misses.
Can we say
picked
and give a
Karan
percentage?
Amageji.
Let's
That
just do
ain't
it
a
to a
hit.
percentage.
When it comes
Let's
to
do it. Let's
linemen,
do it.
he
Let's do it
drafted
to a
Darnell Wright.
percentage.
When it
There's
comes to
one.
linemen,
I want to say, let's just
missed
do it to
more
a
than he's
percentage overall. That, and we can all agree that he's had more hits than misses, but he has not been the greatest GM.
He's had
ever.
more hits than misses in what?
And just in totality of all
In
his draft
totality,
and
he
all
has
of
signed
everything.
6 offensive linemen and drafted 3, and one of those offensive linemen out of the 9 may be talented.
Yep.
But that's offensive lineman. We talk if you got to go.
That's
DB,
what he was
wide
talking
receiver.
about.
No, you have
talking
you
about.
have to. No, you have
That's
to
what
talk
I'm
about in totality.
You know what, Pat?
The point is
Fire
totality.
polls. That's
No.
No, the point is that he in totality he's had this. Yes, he's really had an F grade when it comes to O linemen. But when it regards to DBs,
Right.
he's scored an A in
Yeah,
DBs.
he
He
hits.
scored a B or C when it
If
comes
I
to
may,
defensive
Pat.
linemen. So you have to put everything in
If I may,
totality to
Pat.
get a top.
Can I say
to
something?
get a top.
Please go ahead.
Can I say something?
Let's get off the rails.
What? What?
I love it.
Sweat.
I know.
What is the goal of the Chicago Bears when they drafted Caleb Williams? To keep him off his back. To keep him off his back. Yes or no?
Yeah, you're
Technically,
right.
no. Ryan Poles didn't think that.
Did he not say, "Hey, I'm going to fire everybody else. We're going to bring Flus back." You made all those moves. You made all those moves. You guys can acknowledge it or not. He put himself in that situation. He has to deal with that. He has to lie in it. Those are the questions that we had. Even if Ben Johnson did walk through the door, it was, hey, can he be competent enough to build the offensive line and keep it going so that way Caleb Williams is upright enough so that way he isn't the third best quarterback coming out of the draft.
Yeah, we get
Right.
that. Personnel
Right.
moves, coaching,
That's
hiring,
what
all those.
Hold
on. No, what my argument or what I was just talking about was his draft. I wasn't critiquing the other moves. I get it. He is at fault for thinking that this team was ready. He said himself, it's going to be hard to make this team. He thought his team was built. They thought that maybe Caleb was a little bit more ahead in the game to be able to just go, plug and play quarterback and go. He was wrong. So he has had some issues with assessment. But overall, I'm fine with Poles because he's got us in a better situation than we've had where Pace was a little over aggressive, either trading away picks, doing certain moves to try to build his team. He's done a better job than Phil Emery. Phil Emery built an offense. The defense fell apart. He couldn't build that. Jerry Angelo was a good GM.
Ain't got none. No.
I'm just saying it was a good GM to a point, and then he stopped being able to draft. They couldn't draft an offensive line. They couldn't draft an offensive line. He couldn't get an offensive coordinator for Lovey. So my point is that where we are with Poles, he came in as a rookie GM. He's learning. There was a lot of moves that we lauded. Now what happened is that it all fell apart this season. So it all falls on him. So heavy is the head that wears the crown.
I will say this, just to back Joel up a little bit on that. Look at what we're talking about now. We're talking about Ryan Poles getting Ben Johnson getting Dennis Allen, all that. Like,
Agreed.
He has now righted a lot of those wrongs, and to the point where now there's no way in the world we go to this draft room and somebody's gonna be like, oh yeah, you need to
Draft a punter.
Yeah, there you go. That's not gonna happen now. It can't. You have 3 former head coaches on your staff already. 3, 4, maybe more. I think it's 3.
No, you
Eric-
got
Dennis
you only got
Allen.
Dennis Allen. That's it.
No, Eric was an offensive coordinator.
Dennis Allen.
Somebody else was there.
But,
No.
but
I thought I'm thinking
No,
Eric, but
nobody
he
else
wasn't.
is a head coach. in
He was
the league.
offensive
the
coordinator.
other
I
problem,
mean, all of them have been head coaches at some
but when
point.
it gets down to this, is when you sit there and have a cheap budget, you don't have the ability to really like develop your squad. What you have now is that the there's no more restrictions in the sense that you can go out. We want to win.
You have a
So
real think
when
tank
you
now.
have this, I mean, the thing is, this coaching staff that we've never seen this.
We have a real
No.
think tank now.
I
We have a
agree with
real
that.
collective
You
of
covered all your
geniuses
boxes.
now
Checked all
that
your
can help
boxes.
make sure that this
super
isn't a
chat.
failure.
We got a super chat.
I fully agree with that. Shout out to the super chat. Papa,
Papa,
do that.
Papa, do that.
Poles draft strategy has built key players for the Bears through though
Though-
some picks fell short. Continue player development and smart drafting will be key to the team's success moving
Shout
forward.
out to Papa.
I get that. My point is, you have entire rounds of drafts that he has not done well.
Yeah.
You
I
have
get that.
entire moves that you've made that he controls, and I'm talking about in the draft that he has not done well.
Facts.
No,
We talk about Braxton Jones.
no,
facts.
Yes.
no, Ian Cunningham.
Oh, we're gonna blame Ian Cunningham. Get him out of here. We need that third
I'll
round
take
pick.
that pick.
400 in the chat, by the way.
Oh, 400. That's No, but I think here's the thing, right? My point in all of this, did you just wave?
Hey, that's the thing,
I thought you hit the phone.
the baby.
Yeah, that's
Like
even worse.
Pope
But no. Like, my point in all of that is, I agree that you should make the move that you are making now.
I love Gucci.
I don't forget the sins that we've seen.
I get that.
It is.
I don't forget the sins.
That's
that
why
we've
he's like a
seen.
60-40
Yours-
kind of deal.
That's why I said the
Yeah, but you-
percentage.
but
But
you keep saying-
Doug got to get in.
You
I'm
keep
gonna
saying
say
60-40. We talk about Caleb, and we're talking about Caleb, Kyler,
Brisker.
Brisker.
You got to count
Brisker.
Brisker.
Dexter.
and Rome.
Dexter.
Dexter
And-
hasn't
and-
shown me that he's a hit yet.
And you
Bro,
brought.
you
and he
just
brought in.
said
And
this
he
is
brought
our
in.
defensive tackle of the
he-
future.
And he
You
brought in
literally
the
was reading
linebacker.
about
That
it.
literally
was
said
that
that.
was
His-
You
that
said
was
that.
I'm saying his linebacker signing is good too.
which one? Because
Uh,
Tremaine Edmonds is
no,
terrible.
no,
TJ Edwards. is a
TJ.
dog.
TJ Edwards was great. I said
And though
He
and
brought
4
that
weeks
guy
into the
in, too.
season.
and Sweat
Hold
too.
on,
He
hold
brought
on.
that guy too.
I said 4 weeks into the season, he's our defensive tackle of the future because he had 4 sacks 4 weeks into the season.
Uh-huh.
How many sacks did he have after that?
I'm going to say 4. I mean 0.
1.
Yeah.
Right. He had 1 sack after that. So yes, he did hit the ground.
Gucci,
running.
who do
He
you
was
like? You don't
looking
like
great.
nobody.
I ain't worried about that.
Gucci
But,
don't like
I ain't
nobody.
worried about that. But the thing for me is breaking news. LA Rams have made wide receiver Cooper Kupp available for trade. You keeping him again?
Nope.
Oh, dang it.
Yeah, he learned his
Oh,
lesson.
he cooked.
But like to me,
Keeping Puka.
I am fine with remembering that. Now just do different.
We are doing
My point is not to sit here and say that Ryan Poles is King Poles again.
You have to see how it turns.
I got to see how this all
You gotta see
turns
how it
out.
turns out.
You can't
Press
just be
Poles.
King Poles
Yeah,
because I think some of your draft capital is going to work out. You haven't drafted a single Pro Bowler.
I'm with you.
You haven't drafted one Pro Bowler yet in 4 drafts, in 3 drafts.
Well, we got bad coaching, bad this, bad all
Oh,
bad.
God.
I
What do you mean,
agree.
oh my God. What do you mean?
Again, who can fire the coaches?
You got look. You
I'm
got a
saying,
freaking
so-
coach
so-
that can't call a timeout.
I agree.
You got a
before we-
coach that can't set like nobody's that we just talked about. There's nobody developing anybody. You can draft the players. It's coaching and players.
I think the one thing I would say is you can only judge a man by what he does after he's made his mistakes.
I'm fine.
And so now you've seen the mistakes, he's correcting
If
them.
he's gotten a chance.
Look
to,
at
I
it
agree
now.
with that.
You open a checkbook And now we've got all the right people in
Oh,
place
yeah.
to make sure that we now have Pro Bowl caliber
Right.
players, because we do have Pro Bowl caliber talent on the roster. They just haven't seen that because we haven't put them in the right
I'm
situation.
fine with
So now you get to actually do that.
and I'm fine
Nah,
with Pat's
Jaquan-
narrative. I'm
Jaquan
fine
was
with
there.
Pat's narrative of now this is a wait and see. He basically the trust that we had given to Poles has kind of been broken. He has to now build it back up. So we're on now it's wait and see, but he's definitely on a path of doing things differently. He's got a better coaching staff in here. Now the things might bear more fruit than what he thought he was doing as he
Pun
came in
intended.
there. He basically got,
Yeah.
No, is it-
Pun intended.
no, Dub's just trying to get in for it. He's got to go say something on this. He's got a good point.
Oh, snap.
Come on,
I
Dub.
didn't have anything. I agree with all the points. I didn't have anything specific to say about it.
Okay, we'll keep it moving.
All right,
with JKV.
I like this comment. He said Ryan Poles didn't have any help on his side to choose the right person. This time he has Ben Johnson that will make the best decision for the team. I love that we just believe that.
Hey, listen, no,
I gotta see it.
listen. I got Caleb Williams taking pics with what's that running back's name? Genty. Yeah, no, listen, Ben Johnson's gonna draft that kid, dog.
Everybody relax.
Ben Johnson's drafted that kid. I can see it
Please
right
To be
now.
honest with you,
Please,
more and more, I think
no,
they got plenty of running backs that you
please.
can get later
Please.
that are just as
Can you
talented.
please say it again for
Just
Hey,
as
the
talented.
hey, we got Ian Wheeler.
Please.
I got the
Please.
Wheeler.
I'm fine with
gonna
Ian
go
Wheeler
with
too.
Wheeler,
They got
too.
Amari and Apple.
Hey
You
man,
got-
let's keep this thing moving
Man.
along. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. As y'all can see, very spirited discussion. We got a lot of topics to get to in this show. We got
Told ya.
nice tops.
Told ya.
What I do love though is that now we can talk about what he has done moving forward. I can look at the past and see all of the struggles,
Sorry, keep going.
but right now, when I look at the Bears coaching staff, the fact that you have added in an Eric Bieniemy, the fact that you have added in a Dan Rashard today who was hired. I keep saying this, and this is a term I'm sure people are sick of hearing me saying it. You got
It's a lot of guys.
the
It's a lot of guys.
Monstars.
1, 2,
Monsters.
3, 4, 5,
The Avengers.
6, 7, 8,
No, I like all
9 dudes.
No, that's the monsters. bro.
It's
You
monsters.
got 9 dudes
Yeah.
who all have developed people.
Yep.
Who all have put skins on the wall.
Mm.
Who all have been a part of creating a culture that has led to winning.
Winning
If
Super
you
Bowls.
if you don't develop here, you just ain't gonna develop.
Super Bowl,
Bro,
is-
like it's straight, it's
You're not
straight
gonna
up-
make it, dog.
It's straight development. I look at Al Harris, straight DB development. I look
Yep.
at Antoine Randall, straight wide receiver development. I
Super
look
Bowl
at
winner.
who
Eric
freaking-
Bieniemy, running backs
Eric
coach.
Bieniemy.
Adrian Peterson.
I look at Eric Bieniemy like
No,
not even just
the
that.
Kansas
He's from
City
Minnesota.
guys.
No,
Kansas City
Before
guys.
that, Adrian
well,
Peterson. he was with
Adrian
Minnesota.
Peterson, attributes his next step
And what-
being Eric Bieniemy. I look at Eric Bieniemy, I'm just like, well, I know he knows how to be a running back.
He's seen the best. They've all seen the best for the most part.
They
All
say-
of them have had some of the best players.
They know what it
they
takes.
they have seen the worst too. I think the thing about it is all these dudes have literally gotten it out of the mud to the point like you got some head coaches, you got some that's been in the gutter, that's been building up programs. You got guys now that EB's on the staff. Like I've seen a program that has been run where Poles has been there. They've won multiple championships.
Yeah.
So to Kid's point, it's like at this point, if Ben Johnson does what he says and allocates the responsibilities to the staff and they do what they're supposed to do,
Yeah.
there should be no reason why the Bears shouldn't be winning, or at least these dudes shouldn't be developed enough to get to a Pro Bowl. By the way, I just wanted to say I think I saw Brisker at the Pro Bowl games. He did participate. I think he was an alternate.
Shout out to
I don't think Brisker got into the
No,
the Pro Bowl.
I don't think Brisker got to the Pro Bowl, but he did participate. I think he was an alternate.
in the game.
Yeah, he was at the Pro Bowl game. They
I don't
do
even,
like a Pro
I'm
Bowl
not gonna
game
lie
thing.
to you. Did anybody watch a second of the Pro Bowl?
I saw
I
a snippet.
I saw the whole thing.
snippet of
I saw the whole thing.
It was pretty
I saw
fun.
Jalen
I saw
Johnson
the-
almost
no,
take his hip off.
Hey, the tug of war is great.
He said I recorded it and then deleted it.
I did. I was like, I don't even want to
Waste
watch
of
this.
Nah, I saw the.
was pretty- it was pretty funny.
It's a waste of
That's an
time.
interesting.
Shout out to T Fly Shy to Long Beach, $20 super chat. Shout out to you for supporting the channel like that. He says
Yeah.
Chicago sports is a joke. The whole Bears extended a guy who is yet to draft an All-Pro. Caleb wasn't the right pick. Same old Bears hire and fire. Keep the mediocre fans happy. Tired of this Shy City Bulls, Bears, Sox, Cubs.
Oh, sorry you feel that way.
Listen, I mean,
Okay.
I
Hey,
don't know if
what?
Caleb's the right pick or not, but I don't feel that bad about it.
I'm gonna say this. When did we do this?
Do what?
When did we do this? Hire the
Antoine Randall.
No, I'm talking about these type of this coaching staff.
Never.
When did
Oh,
we
never.
So what are you talking about?
Well, now you can't allow.
Like,
The problem
what-
is
Yeah,
so,
but you got to see it work.
Fans are hurt.
You got to see it work.
Yeah.
You gotta see it
I'm
work.
going to tell you this right now. This coaching staff right now, 8 wins.
It's on paper.
To start,
right now.
8 wins.
Nah,
It's
I
on
got
paper.
I'll
nine.
say that's. I'll
Hey,
say
wait.
that's the lower part of the
I got
bar.
9.
Hey, that's
That's
my
the lower part
that's-
of the bar. I'm
that's-
fine with that.
That's
I'm
that's
fine
my
with that.
bar.
I
I'm
got
fine
9.
with that being the
that's-
lower
that's-
part.
That's
I'm
like
fine with that.
Wait.
Because
It
here's
depends
the
on
thing.
who he gets on the roster.
don't even matter
Well,
because it's
yeah,
Chicago.
no, that's true.
No, it depends on who he
Offensive
gets on
line.
the roster.
Offensive line, yeah.
Hey, look, it sounds great.
We pick up Trey and we pick up some
sounds great.
additional.
Say we get
No, that's
Trey,
a
we
Have
get
we not been
Zeitler.
here?
That's a
We get
different
Will.
situation.
Now this
We've
is a
never been
different-
here.
This is a
We've
different
never been
coaching staff.
here.
We've never been here. This is a very different coaching staff. But to me, like you get excited for this, you get hyped for this. You go, oh, we got all these pieces. Now we got all these guys, and then like all of a sudden, 6 weeks into the season, we're 4-2, and we're like, oh, Super Bowl of us, baby! Ah! And then,
through Dallas Hall.
and then 8 weeks into the season, I don't know what that was. 8 weeks into the season, we sitting there, and we're like, oh God, we've lost 4 in a row.
But let's be
Yeah,
for real though. We've never had this, and you've never had the guys with this level of pedigree to come in and do it. You've had Matt Eberflus and his staff, and we all knew and always had question marks
Yeah.
around it. And even you said, I don't know what's going to happen with this, but like realistically, you know, if it works out, great. But there was a good belief that it wasn't going to work out. You don't have that type of belief here. You
Why did
now have people who've definitively drafted well or helped draft well, developed well,
Have all been in
and
rooms.
all been in rooms to
Yeah.
actually have success.
How about
We've
this?
never had that level of experience there. So it's like
We got synergy.
How
We got
about this?
synergy
How
now.
about
I
this?
can see it being a build-up season,
Now,
but like
synergy is a great word because all these mugs come from the Saints.
Right.
Like this is not like you got
Sean
new
Payton,
faces
True.
working
He's a
together.
Saints guy
Sean
for
Payton.
sure.
They all the
is-
same.
is
So I
growing.
would say this. Now, history has shown that when you brought in a good DC, a prominent one. We have Marinelli. We've had Vic
We've had
Fangio.
those guys.
When you bring in the prominent, we brought in prominent DCs, and that pretty much will play out. Good defense.
Yeah.
The one time we bring in an offensive mind guy in terms of even Trustman, we had a good offense, trash defense. Nagy, I don't know what we
First
were
year
with
we
Nagy.
did.
But I'm just
First year
saying
we had a good offense.
but technically, even Adam Gase was, he got
Adam
Jay
Gase was
Cutler.
good.
Well, he got Cutler to stop throwing a lot of touchdowns. We still suck. We're still like 6-10. But this is the first time we've melded, I think, where both top offense. We got a top 5 offense in Johnson, and then we got a top 10 defensive guy in
wait,
Allen.
we have a top 10 offensive mind.
Yeah, we have a top
Okay.
5. He's been top 5 in the last 3-4
3
years. When I say we've never had that
top
guy.
3. I'll say 3.
No, he's
Yeah.
been top 5. He was 5, and then he was 1 this year.
I'll say 3.
Yeah.
Nah, but I'm talking about I'm talking about like when you termed it like when you say in terms of mine, I think it's like Shanahan, McVay, and then Johnson's like
Yeah, but
right
see,
there.
even that sounds
Reed,
great.
too.
The one thing I'll say about this coaching staff, like that sounds great, but what makes me feel better about Ben Johnson being here is not Ben Johnson.
It's the coaches.
I know Eric Bieniemy can draw up plays, and I know that he's a running back, and he's going to draw up plays that help the running back. I know that Antoine Randall was a big part of the trick plays that went on in Detroit. I know that Al Harris can develop DBs like nobody's business. I know that Dennis Allen has been a head coach and who was a coordinator and went to being a head coach and can say, okay, these are some of the missteps that I have. I know Declan Doyle. I don't know nothing about Declan Doyle. I don't know a dang thing about Declan Doyle.
He's
But
going to be a good coffee guy. Get the donuts.
Wow.
Hey, Muzz keeps saying that. He finna be doing the
He-
most
he-
work
he
out of
wa- he
I was
was-
about to
everybody.
say
with
he's the
Sean
guy that's
Payton.
gonna be there late.
He's about to be
He
a
was with
slave.
Sean Payton,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
We got
Yes.
500 in the chat, by the way.
Oh, 500 in the chat. No, but just like I like the fact because here's the thing that cracks me up.
Bro, man,
bro. I ain't
fifth
gonna lie
flow.
to you.
Bro, man, for the 5th floor.
I like the fact that, and I've said this a couple of times. This feels Mike McCarthy-ish.
Oh.
Well, no, you
Not
said
Mike
Holmgren.
McCarthy,
You
Mike
said
Holmgren-ish, right? This
Oh,
feels
yeah.
Mike Holmgren-ish.
Yeah, you do.
What kind of McCarthy? I mean,
Well,
McCarthy
he
had
came-
McCarthy had a really nice staff too,
He
actually.
came- he was
But
out, yeah.
this feels Mike Holmgren-ish, where you're sitting there and you're like, who's the dude getting the coffee and drawing that play on the board? Now that's Gruden.
John Gruden.
That's Gruden. Don't worry about him. Oh, who's that dude teaching the tight ends and then throwing that play in the playbook? Oh, that's Andy Reid. Don't worry about him. He'll be here for a little while. You know what I
I
mean?
mean, let's hope so.
Oh, who's that? Who's that? Yeah, I mean, like there
Well,
were
you're
so
hoping
many.
it's-
There
no.
were so many of those names that continued to climb the ladder because, yes, they're learning under Holmgren, but also they're like, hey, you like that? Yeah, call that.
Well, hopefully,
And all we say is, oh, what a play by Holmgren. He's one of the greatest offensive minds of all time. How'd he come up with that? That mind wasn't as great when everybody was gone.
it's like the Shanahan thing too. Like Shanahan, all those guys in Washington, all the young guys. But at the end of the day, what we have is they spent the money on the top offensive mind, and he's putting together a really good staff. So it's good to see. Like, I can't sit there and be like, oh, I don't think they're going to win. Like, you can't. They can't put this much money in, and they're proven. These are I'm just saying, it's proven guys.
We got solid potential.
I
You're
think
proven coaching. Now we'll just make sure we get these players coached up to do their thing.
I'm actually a little tingly because you might see more consistency with this staff actually staying together for a long time, because nobody's going to run off and say, I want to be an OC. We've seen people be that. You got Dennis Allen, who's been a head coach. You got Eric Bieniemy. He's had like 40 interviews for OC and head coaching. So he's probably like, I'm good where I'm at right now. You got guys that are in roles that are essentially going to be okay with being here and building up that consistency and continuity. That's the biggest thing I like, is now you're forming a team that's going to be, together for a while.
And then talking about all these coaches when they spoke, especially when we talk about Dennis and things of that nature, they're all bought into the success of Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
There is no vying. You don't feel like someone's vying and just waiting for the opportunity, like you just mentioned, to just jump ship. And realistically, when I look at this list and I think about the potential that we have, I see a bunch of people may not be here. I see the Detroit Lions again, where you're gonna have a bunch of people that success. They may not win a Super Bowl. We may not win a Super Bowl, but to change our organization around to be a high-powered offense, to now be a real contender, to now be relevant in modern football, it's a bunch of people here who are like, "Hey, this is my step up to the next thing." Eric B's been looking for a job forever. Yeah. He's supposed to be a head coach.
No, he's not going nowhere. Nobody gonna hire him.
I think that Eric Bieniemy
potentially.
I think that he's.
Dennis was one. I mean, all these people want to be back.
The red. You know what I mean?
We want him.
I'm gonna get after you. I think he's more of a. I'm going to give you tough love, and he don't know the love part of the tough love. You know what I mean?
He's a good cop, bad cop, only being bad.
Only being bad cop. He's remember in other guys where he was like they was doing good cop, bad cop, and he was like, oh, I want to talk to that guy. He's like, you want to talk to me? You want to talk to me? I want to talk to the good cop. He's supposed to. I thought we were doing bad cop, bad cop. I never heard of that.
No. I got a question, Pat. Is Bieniemy a product of the Rooney Rule, though? Like, everybody knows that he's probably going to be a good candidate for head coach, but they just bring him in because
I think
they did that to Eddie George.
They did that to Eddie George. Yeah. Legitimately.
I'm talking about his past interviews.
Because I think if Eric Bieniemy from that tree was a really good head coach,
Gucci said something positive,
or had I think he knows a ton of football.
Yeah,
I think he doesn't know how to convey that to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
If he had a better showing in Washington,
it's a head coaching interview is a job interview.
Yeah,
I mean, hey, so Eric, what is your plan? And I don't know if this is how it went, but Eric, what's your plan to get the quarterback back on track? Oh, we're gonna whip him into shape. All right, wait a minute.
Literally,
I don't know if that's the answer we're looking for. That
very generic.
You have to be able to answer it, and I don't know if he can. I also know that remember in Washington. Like the players came to him and were like, "Yo, he talking a little reckless."
His communication style has been the knock around the NFL circle, so that's why he's potentially not going to go anywhere.
Yeah,
is he Brian Flores?
So he's good in his role then.
Yes, he's not as aggressive as Brian Flores, but his communication is
might be
more.
He might be more.
Telling to it like you coming in to work every day and telling him like you suck at your job is.
But remember, we spoke about certain people. There's a certain way of like how you delegate, and there's managers, there's worker bees, and certain guys are good in certain roles. And when you elevate them, see how they do with that. Mm-hmm. He's probably very good at his specific position, or because when you're like you said, Ben Johnson as an OC, he's delegating work to Declan Doyle. And then they all have to talk to the other position coaches. Some guys are just really good at being coaches. Some guys are not. Some guys are not ready to be a head coach because at the end of the day, it's like you're still a CEO in your realm as you delegate to certain coaches. The whole point with Ben Johnson, with Dennis Allen, I don't have to come over to the defensive room. I'm gonna check in with you. What we're doing, cool. We're gonna be aligned, but I don't have to be there because I got a guy that's been there, that's done it. So Dennis Allen wasn't necessarily good as a head coach. Great DC. Said the same thing about Eberflus. Not
That's what
necessarily
we got
good
with
head
the
coach.
pass game coordinator.
That's what we're getting.
He was smart enough to drop the Philly special.
So just some
He
guys
was
are very
terrible in
good.
Jacksonville.
Some guys are
Brave
very
enough to
good
do it.
in
Press
certain
Taylor.
roles. It doesn't mean that they all have to get promoted.
I like comments like this. Rex Smith didn't seem to be a problem for good players in KC. Everybody's style don't work everywhere.
Yeah.
That's what you have to have as a head coach. As a head coach, my style can't just work for the offensive dudes. It's got to work for the defensive dudes. It's got to work for the special teams dudes. It's got to work for the coaches in the building. It's got to work for the dudes in the lunchroom. It's got to work for the janitor. It's got to work for everybody in the organization because I am the guy.
Yeah.
It can't be, oh, well, it worked in KC, so it should work everywhere. That's not the case.
Also, the coach.
No, great example, right? Great example. Doc Rivers worked in Boston.
With the right.
You had the right mindset of people. You had Kevin Garnett, who was like, "Oh, you gonna cuss me out? I'm gonna cuss you out back, and I'm gonna punch you." And he was like, "Oh, well, I'm gonna punch you back, and I'm gonna stab you." And he was like, "Oh, well, we friends now." Like you had Paul Pierce, who was okay with that. You had Ray Allen, who was okay with that. Your leaders of the team were okay with that. If they love Eric Bieniemy, if Pat Mahomes loves Eric Bieniemy, guess what?
He got cussed out.
The rest of y'all love Eric Bieniemy because I'm the best player on the team.
Right.
If I'm the best player on the team, you gonna love who I love because that's what's gonna get me. That's what's gonna get the best out of me.
I love
that. To me, I think is why with head coaching is very different, and why I think I like Eric Bieniemy in this role. I wouldn't mind him in an OC role because Ben Johnson is doing a lot of the play calling. We've seen him be able to do that. I just think you're setting up a staff though that I bet you Eric Bieniemy probably draws up great plays. Has a good mind.
I'm sure he does.
You know what I mean? So,
well, the main thing is that you know how to coach those running backs. If Roshan gets anything out of this, if he's still going to be here, if Swift ends up being a better running back, or if we have to do another running back room, but he's seen the best, he's coached the best, and a lot of these guys have done that, which is great. That's all we want is that you're not bringing in guys that don't know what they're doing, so they don't know how to push the pedal to the metal on certain players or when to coach or how to coach some of these guys.
Yeah,
most of these guys, I can't speak for. Bill Johnson or what's our O-line coach?
Dan Rashad.
Yeah, we got to do some research on that guy.
Yeah. So the whole point is that hopefully with Johnson surrounding himself with key or talented coaches, we should be good. One more on the next.
Hey, you know why that running back room don't matter? Because Pat ain't gonna pay him at the end of the day.
Hey, listen.
Jeez. Let me ask y'all a question.
Oh boy.
Hey man, Saquon.
You want to know what's gonna be funny? You want to know what's gonna be funny? If the Eagles win,
I'm saying
Saquon got 3 touchdowns.
If the Eagles win, Saquon will be
the
highest paid running back since Marshall Faulk to win a Super Bowl
for sure.
The main thing, he'll be healthy.
Falk like literally, nobody else paid their running back or lead rusher was the highest paid, or was the top paid.
Marshawn Lynch.
A lot of cheap. It should have been Marshawn. Should have been Marshawn. Just turn around, hand the football off to him.
Throw that mud right in there.
So he on the list too?
Who?
Marshawn?
To get paid?
Yeah.
No, we had that conversation immediately. I told you my favorite. No, absolutely not.
Beast mode.
Still said he was going to pay Derrick Henry though.
I did not. I did not.
Hey. We were there.
I did not.
We were there.
We were there.
We were there.
I can believe it.
You changed. It's
okay.
It's okay. It's okay. It's all right, baby. Hey, you know who wasn't on that joint? He didn't say Gale Sayers. He did say Gale Sayers at first, bro.
What did I
He definitely did.
I've always said Gale Sayers is the dude that I would pay, but he was never healthy enough to.
It was sweetness. It was sweetness for sure.
Barry Sanders.
Barry Sanders for sure.
Barry Sanders.
Hey man, we got other topics to get to. I'm just saying. You changed it, bro.
AP.
You changed it, bro. LT was a no. LT. You didn't always have LT. You didn't always have LT.
No, he brought him. He did bring.
I always have said he's always on the list. No, the 5 that I would.
All right, we on to the Bulls now.
Y'all always want to have this conversation.
Look at Drew. Drew trying to get some attention.
DJ KV, I appreciate you, my boy.
All right. Everybody talking at once. Everybody.
We can't do a full squad ever again.
You ain't lying, dog.
Hey, $10 super chat by
$10
super chat by DJ.
Shout out to the super chat, DJ KV. He said, if the coaching staff that we've hired can help Poles and Johnson in this draft with what we actually need to do their specific jobs during the season, we may be a first-round exit playoff team. That may be the case.
Hey, you said playoffs?
Maybe that may be the case.
Oh, at least a division contender.
Blaze said Pat has running back trauma. No, just agreeing with the NFL.
Hey, you know who does have running back
offensive line
trauma?
first.
The Giants organization. All right, we
Giants
can
got
move
some
on.
running back trauma.
We
And
can
they got
move
a
on.
good running back on that team. Hey, man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in. Show love. Hit the like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. We do got to talk a little bit of Bulls today because the Chicago Bulls.
Just 2 minutes. Just 3 minutes.
Actually, I ain't worried about them. The Chicago Bulls actually made a move.
Yeah,
First move we've seen them make in years.
3 years.
In years.
3 years.
We haven't traded
Four-
people
four-
in
4
years. Well, we traded Caruso.
Yeah.
And we traded
We traded.
DeMar DeRozan.
We got Giddy
Kinda.
last year.
Kinda.
Yeah.
It was not really.
But-
I mean,
Giddy this year.
The conversation around this team right now with some of the moves that they made yesterday, the Zach LaVine trade, a lot of people are upset about it. For me, I think it picks a direction on where this team is at. They also made a couple of moves today where they waived Torrey Craig and Chris Duarte to clear roster spots so that they can bring in Trey Jones, bring in Kevin Huerter, bring in Zach Collins, and they're still trying to make trades here to move on from Trey Jones possibly or Kevin Huerter. And Casey Johnson also tweeted this out. A fluid week, but currently hearing there's optimism for a Lonzo Ball trade in which draft capital would be acquired. So when talking about the Bulls' next move, I think we know, right? Trade everybody away, bottom out. Or be as bad as you can be just with the talent that you have, because I don't think AK will ever bottom out. But is this the right move to make, knowing you're getting just about nothing back after Luka Doncic went for 32-year-old AD?
31.
My bad.
Defensive-
31-year-old AD.
Defensive Player of the Year.
That's
Chicago
great.
needs.
That's great. I got 10 players above him.
Candidate.
And
Second
a
in blocks.
2029 first round pick. Oh yeah, Max Christie.
And Max Christie.
And Max Christie.
Max Christie.
Is this the right move for the Bulls to make, knowing you're getting pennies on the dollar?
They really did it to themselves.
Yeah, 100%.
They killed their own market. They didn't get rid of Zach when they could have gotten the most for him. And now in this whole thing, even though Zach has been playing better, he's played better individually. No, like you did it to yourself to the point where you valued him too high early on, and now you just took what you got. I'll be honest with you, the only direction I see is now we are officially going to a full-scale rebuild, which is it's comforting if you're someone who's like, hey, let's just burn it down and start over. Well, this is the start of you start. This is the start of that sincerely. I do expect more people to be off of this team by the end of this season or by off season. So
coach.
Yeah, no, I think a new
That would
coach
be
is
nice,
coming
too.
along. I think Billy isn't with us 2025, 2026. I don't think
Somebody else said that to me today, and I don't see them parting ways with Billy, because Billy is.
I knew we were stuck when we got him.
I don't think. Well, it's not that you're stuck. It's just that I don't think that Billy Donovan is always going to be the coach that can win just enough in the NBA. He's a good coach. Everybody else wants to. He's a terrible basketball mind. Billy Donovan knows
not at all.
basketball.
Yeah.
He's a good coach. Most coaches in the NBA are good coaches. You got those that are like terrible, but there's a lot of Billy Donovans in the league that have good players that go on good runs, and then they don't make the decisions that turn into winning decisions for championships and things like that. Monty Williams was coach of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then Monty Williams
Listen,
couldn't get them out of the first round. And then Monty Williams went to Detroit and couldn't develop a single player on that team. And now Monty Williams is not coaching.
the NBA is in such a weird space all the way around. It is a very interesting product now. Kids do not have the same hunger coming into the league
At all.
Players who've been there, they want to win, but the new CBA limits so much in what they can do. You're going to see a lot of people go for nothing because these teams can't afford to keep them. Like we've gotten so used to the super team era, and like, oh yeah, he could just go to Phoenix, right? No, he can't.
No, that second apron.
The second apron is crazy.
Yeah,
you can't
Jimmy.
do that. Guess what? Phoenix is about to divest of some assets because they can't pay all these dudes.
Yeah. They might get rid of Kevin Durant.
They might as well.
They
I
sitting
saw
there
that.
looking at
You can't-
the possibility of getting rid of KD.
You can't pay all these dudes. So now what does that have to do with the Bulls? The Bulls, unfortunately, like you said, good enough to still have a name, be around, never good enough to get the number one overall.
Yeah.
Like we're stuck in like that part.
Purgatory.
You're good enough
Yep.
to always be in a play-in because I
Basketball
still
hell.
think we're a play-in team, believe it or not. That's crazy to say. I think we're still a play-in team.
Not after we get rid of all these pieces.
Hey, listen.
Hey, no Zach, no Vooch.
We better not have
Hey,
no playing.
But would it be just like right?
Nah.
it would be just like right.
It would be just
But
like
I-
right for
The
the
Bulls have always shown that.
But here's the thing: with the new lottery, that's okay. A playing team got the number 1 overall pick last year.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't mean you're going to be out the draft. This is an incredibly deep draft. What I like about this is the Bulls have made a decision in this draft by making this trade. And I know everybody's like, well, you just removed the protections. I get it. That's all you were going to get.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
You
I don't
removed
see
the protections for the next 3 years.
I think they lost in this trade. When you look at how many picks the Kings got, I don't know what the heck the Kings are
no,
doing.
because see, this is the thing.
The
You gotta-
Kings fleeced a lot
They
of
got
people.
No,
three first-round picks.
you gotta look deeper into the trade. When you actually look at what the Kings got, there's protections on all of those picks. Unless you expect Charlotte all of a sudden to become a great basketball team, they're not getting that pick. The second round picks, I think 2 of the picks have protection. So basically, you got Zach LaVine to run back in the same thing we just saw Zach
With
LaVine in.
DeMar. Yeah.
You got a first round pick, you got a second round pick,
Think of Chicago West.
Yeah.
and you traded away De'Aaron Fox, who is better
Then who?
than Zach.
Well, hopefully,
I don't know about that
if
one,
we can
dog.
somehow get Cooper Flag and rebuild.
Yeah,
the
we ain't getting that
squad,
guy.
That'll be
We're not
I mean,
getting
I-
that.
dream
it
scenario.
I
is-
mean, it's a possibility.
It's definitely a possibility, and I think
Hey,
that's
we've seen 1.8% chances happen before.
well, and that's the
We
thing.
have.
The part
Yeah.
right when
Frozen
where
envelopes.
people where I think JC said it right. You're talking about rebuilding or doing a tear down and rebuilding. You're not doing a rebuild.
Yeah.
The Bears will or the Bulls will never do a rebuild
A retool.
because you have the Denver Nuggets GM.
yeah.
The Denver Nuggets haven't been sub
Unless-
500 since 2003 when Carmelo Anthony showed up.
Unless
They always try to compete.
Yeah. Unless Michael Reinsdorf decides, all right, this purgatory thing we're doing, this landing in the middle, playing tournament style where we're like not really getting any good draft capital. We're not going to win anything. You know what? Let's tear this down. If the direction is coming from up top to tear this thing down, I can see them really doing that, especially if we giving away Zach for nickels and pennies, right? We're probably going to trade Vooch away for a couple dollars and a soda. And, I heard Kobe White was being fleeced around. I mean, chopped around
They chopped that
by
dude
Orlando.
around.
So, Orlando could be interested in Kobe. So, literally, you will have nothing, which means you should immediately tank. You should lose almost every game, and the Bulls still get the 7th overall.
we got
pick.
Matas.
Well, I think
Montes, I think is going to be
I like
cold.
developing
Modest is
He's
a
good
good
guy.
name. I like
Yeah.
seeing him. I want to see him develop. I think here's the thing in the long run, though. Let's be real. Basketball's luck. It's superstars.
Mm-hmm.
When were the Bulls last good?
Derrick
Rose.
Rose.
Derrick Rose.
Jimmy Butler. Yeah.
How we get Derrick Rose?
We looked into that.
1.8%.
Unfortunately.
Look,
We looked into it.
the Denver Nuggets got good and went on a championship run.
Well,
They drafted Nikola Jokic
They drafted
during a
well.
Taco Bell commercial.
He was second. He was a second round pick.
Yeah, he was the last pick.
That's a good draft.
Jimmy Butler was the second round pick.
Yeah, but my point is,
You get 14.
you find those guys, and some of them turn into stars, some of them don't. What I like about this that the Bulls are finally doing is they realize you don't win how the Denver Nuggets won. The Denver Nuggets for years always had good role players.
They tried to replicate the Detroit Pistons, honestly. Detroit Pistons
Kind
with
of
Hamilton and Billups. They
yeah.
had a bunch of good players, nobody great. They had a bunch of
All-Stars.
not great all-stars,
You-
but ones that just made the
Nah.
team and they won.
You had
No.
Chauncey Billups. That's a Hall of Fame.
He was
Chauncey
still
Billups was kind of great.
he was
Wallace.
big
He
shot
was
Billups,
Chauncey
but he
kinda
wasn't ever
Rasheed
known
was-
as man. That's a stud, superstar.
He was a journeyman.
Yeah,
talent.
you don't have to be known
know.
as it, but
No.
you can be that.
Yeah.
But the hype.
Chauncey Billups was a
He
dog.
didn't come in heralded to be that guy. It was a
Dog.
Right.
good
He
squad.
came, right. He
It was
came
some
in.
of the
It was
parts.
everybody did their equal parts to win, and that's what the Bulls tried to do again
They did the
after
baby
that,
Bulls.
and they just
Let's-
failed. It.
Let's be real about one thing. Who are the NBA champs right now?
Celtics.
How did that come about?
Drafting superstars.
Top
When they
three.
dumped, when they got the
Trade.
Garnett,
Development.
Pierce,
Stick with me. For
Garnett,
Trade
Pierce, and
picks.
Allen trade.
Stick with me for a minute.
Player development.
Listen,
No, the
Player
Garnett,
development.
Pierce, and Allen. They got what 4 number 1 first
Yeah, no, that
rounds.
was good GM.
that's good
That
GM
was
right
good
there.
Danny
GM.
Ainge.
No,
Danny
no,
Ainge.
we're
Yeah,
talking.
no, no.
But here
That-
we're
but
talking
no,
about.
that's it.
We're
They
talking about
drafted
one thing.
Tatum they drafted Tatum with that Garnett trade.
Yeah.
They drafted Brown
Yeah.
with the
Yeah.
other
With the-
Pierce
yeah, they
trade,
did.
So
and
hear
then
me out.
they drafted
Well,
Who's
that's
that?
the same
Mark-
trade.
yeah,
So-
but no,
so-
but it was different trades because it was different people. I was
It don't
saying
matter
that,
what
but yeah.
the trades were. I'm
But
be
that-
honest
but
with
no,
you.
it
The
was
point.
GM
The
that
point
got
here is this.
GM got them.
the league is slowly but surely going back to where you have to now start developing these people. And it's a copycat league. Look at who the reigning champs have been. Look at who those individuals were. Golden State developed Steph Curry. You say however you want to say. They developed that they developed Klay Thompson. They developed Draymond Green. They bought Kevin Durant, but I mean, like they did all that.
That was a Pistons team too.
Boston developed that, and then they added in additional pieces. You're now going back to that. That's in the next couple of years. Mark my words. You have to now start training and developing these kids because they can't just come in here.
You want to know why?
And they're gonna have to have a special team. Go ahead. Wow.
Because the NBA is now trying to replicate what the NFL does now. They are making it back into an owner's league. So the owner is not going to want to pay everybody. They're going to want to develop people because it's cheaper to develop than it is to flat out free agent.
Well, that's the player's fault.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
That is now what is going to happen because of load management and exorbitant contracts. They did. If yes, it is. If you go do your research today, that now the NBA is rotating back that way because of those things.
It's gonna happen because the league made rules to make it that way. I can pay you $700 million to be on my team if I draft you. That's why it's gonna happen.
It's gonna be that.
It makes it more feasible for me to keep the players I draft when I can go, hey, bro. How much you want? 600 mil? Yeah, I got you.
But that's not the case because look at Doncic. Because Dallas could have paid him the $375. It was like, no, you're not fitting to what we want. Exit stage left.
That was stupid.
No,
yeah, but that's just dumb.
Hold on. But here's the thing, though.
Because ownership says
this second ape in the new CBA only does one thing. It keeps polarity around the league. Yeah. You now, as a small market team, can still compete with the LAs
and pay
because now they're so heavily penalized. Realistically. And so that's why development is going to be the forefront because, hey, now you can't just go out there. Oh, Steph Curry's available. Let's throw the bag at him. You can't do that anymore. Right, so now it's like, hey, you have to build your organization up. You actually have to make it worthwhile. And minority owners can't complain about not having a fair shot. Now you have a fair shot. So it is going to be back to an owner's league. And it should be. Let's be for real. It should be, if we want to be honest. Because we've seen what player empowerment has kind of done. It's to be a mix of both. Let's be for real.
You gotta have
be a mix of both, right?
What you got, Ringo?
I wanted to say too. My point was, I really feel like we got to give credit to Udoka because he absolutely developed Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown.
Facts.
But not only that, when Kid brings up that point about development. Do you see how fast he got the Rockets on track?
Yeah,
facts. And I'm telling
you. You know what? I made just the smartest in the room though.
Hold on.
I may walked in and was like, "Hey, Alperine, why they don't give you the basketball?"
No, not even him.
Give me the basketball.
I know you was gonna bring that up. The Thompson twins.
He got them hooking.
Are next up. The Thompson twins are next up. Believe it or not. Now and this is where the league has to invest because quiet as kept, nobody's talking about it. The league went 0-for-3 in terms of picking
the next
American superstars, and nobody talks about it because it started with Ben Simmons, that didn't work.
Well, Ben Simmons ain't American.
He's Australian.
I mean, I shouldn't, but it started with Ben. That didn't work. Then after that, you went to Zion. That didn't work. You tried to give it to Ja. That didn't work.
And Anthony Edwards is too hood.
And then you said Anthony
Edwards. He's too hood. Anthony Edwards is too hood. And I love it, but he's gonna be the AI of this generation. He ain't finna.
I literally said
you went 0-for-3.
We want to go our last topic.
Yeah, some towel to put down or something.
We can.
Actually, I do.
You got a bathroom to towel or something?
I put my towel down.
I sure do.
Hey, man, let us know how you guys feel in the comments below. Let us know your thoughts on the next moves for the Bulls. I don't even know if we got to the next moves for the Bulls. I mean, well, kind of. We talked about bottoming out and going after a superstar, and then we talked about what a superstar means.
Let's see what happens.
We'll see what ends up happening, man. Let's finish it out with this, though, man. Myles Garrett is requested to be traded, and I mean, listen, he put out a notarized letter.
That's insane,
bro. I mean, I was like, wow. I bet. Like, hey, I ain't coming back. Put your mom on the phone. Trudy, I ain't coming home no more. Have a nice life.
I was like,
Click.
I feel good about that decision.
But
I couldn't believe that.
like to me, I think that
Just put it out there like that.
I love it.
I think that it is a listen. Myles Garrett has been, first off, he's showing love to the fans.
Facts.
Second off, he's showing love to the city. Myles Garrett has been through so much,
Yep.
and he has never not been good.
Never.
He's never not been good.
Hall of Fame.
Well, it's rookie year.
Hall of Fame.
He's go still was
Really?
good.
Hall of
You guys
Fame.
say it's rookie year?
Still was good,
Hall of Fame.
bro. Like to me, when I look at the conversation around if you go after him or not, you're talking about do you go after one of the greatest pass rushers of all time or not? But the fact that he put this out there that he wants to be traded could be a contractual thing, possibly. He's got some void years in there. But if he is available, and I need Ryan Poles at least to pick up the phone.
No.
Depends.
Should the Chicago Bears be in on trying to trade for Myles Garrett, knowing you're probably giving up
2 firsts.
the Khalil Mack trade?
No,
2 firsts, a third, and a conditional 5th.
no. And
Nah.
and the reason
No.
reason why I say no,
I'm building that old line up.
no, and so that's what I
You
was
can
just about
still
to say.
do that.
No, but that's what I was about to say. If the goal is the Bears need to keep Caleb upright, like is nice as Myles Garrett on the Bears sounds, we need all the help that we can get on the O line.
That's great.
And I can't risk us having another historic season with Caleb on his back just because we wanted to go get Myles
You
Garrett.
can still do.
Trey Smith, 20 mil?
There's 2.
Yeah.
Hold on,
there's two
wait.
scenarios you can go.
Trey Smith, 20 mil?
He makes more than
Drew-
Myles Garrett's gonna get for the next 2
Right,
seasons.
right. Drew Dahlman, about 20 mil? 25 mil, probably?
Oof, that much?
26.
Miles Garrett's got
Drew
2 years
Dahlman?
left. Miles Garrett
Oh,
got
you
2
were
years
adding
left.
to the
No.
cap.
Drew Dahlman is a
The
starting
starting
center.
center.
Yeah,
But you saying how much is he getting?
26.
26.
He's going to get about 20, 25 mil.
Jesus.
Yeah.
He's
I
a
didn't-
starting center in the
That
NFL.
doesn't mean
Right.
he's necessarily
Hey, John
No,
don't
hey,
care.
no,
John
dog.
don't care about all
No,
that.
I never looked into his numbers. I was looking into Trey and some
joking.
other guys.
So
25 for him?
I think you don't know how much starting centers get paid.
No,
That's
I
no.
understand starting
I'm
players.
messing
no.
with
Here's
you,
the thing. You also have to convince him to come here.
I got you.
Right. You also have to convince him to come here. I'm also taking into account you're going to have to outbid some other teams. Right?
25. Yeah.
That's 40 mil in players on the O-line.
I'm fine with that.
You only
Miles
have-
Garrett is going to make about 25 mil.
Yes,
Yes,
he's got
he's
2
gonna
years.
make-
I think he got 2
He
years.
has 2 years at
40.
19 apiece.
Right.
And
he got 2 years
the
at
second
40.
you trade for him, you
Yeah.
renegotiating this
Right,
contract.
because he's at 19.
The
he'll have
second you trade for him, he is making 25 mil.
That means most of
You
your available
renegotiate
cap,
this contract.
unless we
Fine
keep
with that.
Keenan, most of your available cap.
So
is,
Yeah, but see, the Browns have to eat.
no, if we
huge
get rid
dead
of Keenan,
cap
how much
number.
is that? 80? We at 80?
If we
let
don't
go of
resign
Keenan,
him,
yes.
I'm not. You know what I'm trying to say. Like,
no, I'm saying you at 60 right there.
I'm saying, but if
You
we
had
let go
about
of,
70 mil.
at 70
and
mil, if
three
we get
players.
if Keenan is no longer on the team,
If Keenan's no longer on the team.
we're at 70 or 80 mil.
Oh, you're at 80 mil if Keenan's on the team.
Yes.
Then you can make that move if you're not
He's off the
keeping.
team.
If he's off the team.
If you're not doing anything with Keenan, you make that move.
Right.
I'm not keeping
you
him.
have to
I'm not
buy
keeping
your
him.
line.
Yeah.
You have to use your. If you could keep your 2 second-round picks.
By the way, you're still drafting
Will
in the
Campbell.
second round.
Well, no, your first-round
Oh,
pick is
you gotta
Myles
get-
Garrett.
Your first round pick is
Your
Your
gone.
first-round pick
Your
is
first round
Myles
pick is
Garrett.
gone.
You drafted Myles
Yeah.
Garrett.
Yeah.
Now, hopefully, he's here for 5 years to make that really worth that. You would hate for him to fall
How
after
healthy
3
he
years.
is, I bet he's
Yeah,
here for 5 years.
dog,
He
I would
should.
think
No,
so.
I'm
I would
just
think
saying,
so for 5,
hypothetically. So you drafted basic Myles Garrett with your 10th overall pick.
Yeah.
Now that means because my point was even if you draft Kelvin or Will Campbell, you're still going to use your later round picks to still draft more alignment because you still got to create the depth. So now your defensive line is set, and you got to use it. If you can keep your 2 second-round picks, you got to draft a guard or one of them, and it gives you more flexibility to make some other moves in the later round.
Can I ask a question? This is for everybody. It's a genuine question. Do you think Ben Johnson wants to go any rookies on the line?
Maybe one or
Probably.
Two.
I think probably
Not
one.
a lot,
You
not
don't want to
three.
go because I think here's the
Yeah.
thing, right? You can let Tevin Jenkins walk. You can if you have good tackles,
Mhm.
your guards can be fine.
Don't do it. Reconsider.
So
If you have good tackles, your guards can be fine.
the reason I'm asking that is because there's going to be pressure for Ben to have a hot start with this team. So what does that look like? Because it's going to be all on the offensive end.
You have a dominating
You know-
defense, and you're starting on the 20.
He's 25. Yeah, he's about to get paid.
Who 25?
Drew Dalton.
I wasn't.
Oh,
I didn't know
yeah,
because
yeah,
I
he's about to
never.
get paid.
He wasn't part of my plan. It was like draft, Jake Majors or draft a center.
Now PFF is saying, okay, maybe PFF. I don't know how accurate PFF be. PFF is saying 11.5 million a year.
Yeah, that's what I didn't remember. That. I'm like that. It was a shocking.
I
number to
was
me.
going to say 15 or
balled.
16.
He
but-
balled. But okay, all right. So listen, I stand corrected on that. So even better,
Right. That's more.
Trey
manageable.
Smith.
25.
Drew Dolman.
Yep.
11 million.
if that is the case, that is 35 million.
Let's just,
Well,
let's just say
36
let's just say 40.
million, yeah.
Let's just say
36
40.
million.
Let's
40.
say-
Let's say
let's say
40 million. Let's say 40 million. Let's not
no,
split
that's
hairs.
high. Let's
Let's
not
not split hairs.
millions. We don't
No.
have to do that.
No, but either way, if I go out and I get Myles Garrett and I'm paying him $25 to $28 million a year,
Yeah.
I fixed two pieces on the offensive side. I made Montez Sweat my number 2 on the defensive side.
Oh, give me the cookie. Oh,
I got Myles Garrett as my number 1 on the defensive side. I know this is going to hurt some Bears fans.
This is gonna be the best defense.
No, you're going to have to let some people go.
Yeah.
Maybe Jalen Smith.
You're probably going to end up letting go of a
Jalen Johnson or something.
Kyler Gordon at some point, or a Tyreek
No,
Stevenson,
they like Kyler Gordon.
or a that's great. I'm just saying, like some of the DB, Jaquan
No,
Brisker.
Jalen Johnson could be.
So it's actually interesting you say that because one, I think Adam Schefter mentioned this: a first, 2 firsts, maybe a third, and a valuable piece. So who would be the valuable piece?
I
that they
traded
would-
Jaden Johnson.
Jalen-
I traded
Jalen
Jalen Johnson.
no,
right
they,
now.
they, they got Ward out there. They already got a good CB.
Oh, that's true. They got DBs. already.
They got DB
and
already.
they getting Travis Hunter.
Yeah, probably.
No.
So
I think they take a
who would our
quarterback.
valuable piece be?
They're
A
getting
valuable
Travis
piece.
Hunter.
A valuable piece. What
Book it.
will either be
Jermaine.
Rome.
Shador will go 3.
We'll have to give up Rome.
I am sick
DJ
of
I
it.
don't think you got to give up, bro.
DJ Moore.
You got to give up a valuable piece, and
Rome?
they're
DJ
pretty
Moore.
set on defense.
we
So
ain't
it'll have to
taking-
be
we
offense.
ain't
They have
doing that.
offensive
Might
goals.
I interest you in a Tyson Bagent?
Because you need a quarterback.
They need a QB.
You need a quarterback.
Hey,
Take him.
that was a good one.
No, but I think that I here's my thing. For the people who are like, this is idiotic, why would you ever consider it?
Oh, you got to.
Why would you
got to.
not? Why would you not
He's a
consider
rated
bringing
defensive
on
guy.
one of the greatest, one of the
Yes.
greatest
Yes.
pass rushers
Hall of Fame.
of our generation?
He's our last Richard Dent.
Oh wow.
That's
Wow.
real.
Take a
Yeah.
shot.
Yeah, take a
He
shot.
went
Yeah,
way-
that
he
was
went way
deep.
back.
Now here's a question. He's gonna be he wants to be the highest paid.
Fine.
He's
He
gonna go for
should
30
be.
million.
Fine.
No, he should be. Don't get me wrong.
His play deserves it.
His play deserves it.
Right.
He wants a contract. Who's the last one that get paid? Nick?
TJ Watt.
TJ?
Yeah, no.
What did TJ
Was
get?
it
No,
Nick?
I thought it was
TJ
Nick.
just got paid. Oh, he just got
Yeah.
the Steelers. Yeah.
No,
One
no,
of-
TJ
I
just
thought it
got
was-
paid.
How much did he get paid again?
A lot.
A lot.
He
He got paid a lot.
I tell you this.
I
It
thought
ain't a
it was
little.
Hey, how much did he get paid? Seriously.
Nick
I think it was 120.
Bosa is the highest paid
135.
pass rusher in the NFL right now. He makes 170.
Jesus. All right, never mind.
He is $34 million a year annually. Again, though.
Nah,
again, though.
$30
Hold
million.
up.
Hey,
hold up.
How much
Hold
is fully guaranteed?
No, but is it 122 guaranteed. No, but again, I'm sorry, 88 is fully guaranteed. He's got 122 in total guarantees. No, but here's my thing. This ain't for Trey Hendrickson.
No, I get you.
This isn't for, and listen, I get it. You're spending money, but you know what you're doing. Number one, and I think a lot of people look at this kind of like the Khalil Mack,
Man, that's 180 plus.
right? You traded this. You did you went out and you went and did the Khalil Mack deal, and it didn't
Yeah,
work
a lot
out
of
for
money.
you.
It did.
The difference in Khalil Mack's best game was his first game. Myles Garrett won't have that problem. The difference in this is number one, and me and Joe was laughing about this earlier. Myles Garrett is not Khalil Mack.
No.
He's
No,
Keep going.
Oh,
he's
there's a
top, he's
gap.
top 2.
Keep going.
There's a gap.
He's,
There's a
that's a
gap.
big
he's
gap.
top
There's a
2.
big gap.
It's
It's a big
He's
gap.
top 2.
I'm just saying you made it like
He's
that.
top
like,
2.
My G.
He's
Not
top 2.
in
we
Max
agree he's
Prime.
better than
Not in
Khalil
Max
Mack.
Prime.
There's-
Max
there's-
Prime in Oakland, he was a dog too.
No, not
He's
that.
better than
Khalil,
No.
Khalil,
Yes, I'm not saying he's not. I'm just saying
Khalil
in Oakland,
Mack.
he was the
2 years
Who's
ago.
closer?
2 years ago, Khalil Mack had a Myles Garrett season. 2 years ago,
He's right.
17.
he had 17 sacks, right?
Yep.
6 of them came in one game.
Yeah.
Versus the Oakland Raiders, who had no offensive line, throwing rookie quarterbacks out there trying to figure it out. Now, at the end of the day, still 11 sacks in the season. You take that game out.
Yeah.
Great season. Myles Garrett has 16 sack seasons every other year. The years where he don't have a
15,
16 sack
11,
season,
12.
he has a 14 sack season. We not having the same conversation.
14,
It's
16.
This
it's
is
not
a
that. It's-
this
but it's
is
close.
It's
a
closer. It's closer.
This
than
is
that.
a generational
Yeah,
player.
that's where you
It's
use
not-
that word.
it's
So,
not
Jose,
closer.
are we all in agreement? We're giving up our first round for him?
Oh, you giving up first
No,
round
no,
this
no,
year,
no.
first
That
round
we
this-
have
That's
to.
what it's
we
going to have
are.
to
No,
take.
no, not take. Are we all in agreement that we are willing to give up?
I mean,
No,
if I could get him for a fifth, I
No.
would. But you got to give him first.
You're
What
not
are you
even
talking
answering
about?
the question.
I think what he's saying is, would you do it?
Yeah, I'm doing it.
So
I'm doing it
within
now.
reason.
With
I'm
our
not- I don't wanna
O line
mortgage my
deficiencies,
I
entire-
can't
are we
do
going to do it?
I'm
I'm
gonna tell
doing
you
it
why.
because we have a chance to do that, address that in free agency with the moves that he just mentioned. We're probably the favorites for Trey Smith. If he hits free agency, we're going to spend big money for him. You just mentioned Kevin Zeit. You just mentioned Drew Dahlman. There's a number of names that you can address this issue online right away, and then you go in the draft.
Right. So
Get
you're
the
yes.
center that we talked about in the later rounds.
Start drafting your
Ringo, are you yes?
Yeah.
Ringo, are you yes?
Actually, you know what? Thinking about it, I do it, and this is why.
He want him on the Giants.
I do it, and this is why. The Chiefs got to pay Trent McDuffie.
Yep.
Chiefs got to pay Trent McDuffie. So Trey Smith
Is available.
Trey Smith
Trey's
will
out
be
there.
available.
Right.
And you have the Ryan Poles connection. Ryan Poles was a part of the
You're doggone right,
So,
Bucky.
front office
yeah,
that
I
drafted
do-
him.
Baki
Baki said JC would trade him for a steak on top.
I changed it.
Steak on top, baby.
I'm gonna say this because what should happen versus what could actually happen, we don't know if we're gonna actually land it.
He might
Well, you
get,
don't
he
know
might
if you
get a- he
land
might
it.
get into a
No,
bidding
not
war.
Miles. I'm
The
talking about
price-
Trey. Like we're talking about everybody else. I can't trade my future or my opportunity to fill in these gaps without having something sure on that end. And because this may have to happen simultaneously, I don't know
Well, I mean,
if you
listen,
can pull.
well,
I don't know
first
if you
of
can
all,
swing
your
that.
free
G-
agent-
GMing is not calling one person and saying we got to wait till this deal gets
No,
done to
for
call the next
sure.
person. Like you're having multiple conversations, and my thing is you have the money to do it. Here's the thing, right? And we've done this a couple of times. You got everything else.
Yeah.
Your problem is the trenches.
On both sides.
You have literally everything else. We got DBs, we got linebackers, we got wide receivers,
We got tight ends.
we got tight ends, we have
Running
everything
backs.
else. We got Ian Wheeler. Shout out Ian Wheeler.
We got some dogs.
$2 million over the next 3 years.
We
I
got
don't know,
quarterback. We just need to fix the line.
Well,
We need
trenches
somebody
on
in
both
the
sides.
trenches.
We
But
need
do you
trenches on
need
both
somebody
sides.
that's gonna handcuff you like this though?
But he's not a
This is-
handcuff though.
Are you? Wait.
Now, hear me out. We're talking about from the availability from like literally your future. Like we didn't need those picks before. It was skip them picks before we had too many. Now we gotta need them picks.
If we,
Yes,
hold
you-
on.
you-
Now we kind of need them
Yes,
picks.
you need the picks, but here's
need
the
to
thing:
pick some money.
Are you going to find anybody in the next 2 years that is better than Myles Garrett in the draft? Now, you may find somebody with the longevity at the top of that draft. I think that this
He's
is not.
25.
I think that this is not something that. Who's 25?
Is it Garrett? He's
Myles
27.
Garrett about to be 30.
No, he
I thought it was
was
27.
No,
No, he
he
about
was
to be
talking
30.
about
29.
Dalman.
29. Okay.
Yeah, he was talking about Dalman.
No, but my thing with this is you're looking at 13 and a half, 10, 12, 16, 16, 14, 14.
Jeez.
That production is not just going to magically go away
Consistent.
because of who he is. The
Yeah.
only season where he missed time where you see, I think, is it 10 games there? He played 10 games there. That's because he hit a dude in the head with a helmet.
that's not good. That's not good, guy.
I'm fine with it.
Mason
I need
Rudolph.
criminals on my line sometimes.
Mason Rudolph got
Hey,
it.
look, hey, look, hey. I
Survival sport.
don't need no church boys.
Survival sport.
I need football players.
Not in the
Survival
trenches.
sport.
In the
I
trenches,
don't
I'm
need
agree
no
with. In the
football.
trenches, you need some criminals.
I need some. You know what
You
I
need
mean?
some criminals in
Hey,
the trenches.
sometimes you got to assault the quarterback.
You got to mug somebody.
Now, he
down
was
there.
wilding when he said, I heard him say the N-word, and all the black dudes on the other team was like,
I
I
ain't
didn't
hear him
say
say
the
that.
N-word, bro. Like, get your big. No, but
He had a KG moment.
he definitely did. What
Yeah, the
was
KG
that?
moment.
What was that? He said,
Dirt. He said dirt.
he said
He
Dirt.
said it in German.
He said Dirt was called him the N-word in German.
Oh, I thought that. I
And
thought
Paul
that
Pierce was
was
like,
No, he didn't, dog.
Shut up, dog.
Nine
Yes, he
high.
did.
Nine
bro.
high.
Yes, he did.
I
Did you
thought
say
that was
nine high?
I don't know what the word is for it.
This man making up his own words.
What did you say to me?
But no, I just like to me, I think that this is not the same conversation as going out and just getting another pass rush. This is not the same conversation as getting Daniil Hunter or getting Rashawn Gary or Max Crosby or all of these muds that are really good pass rushers. He's going to go down as one of the greatest of all time.
So, Pat, is this equivalent of like getting like a Saquon or a top of the top tier, not just
Jesus.
a regular defense end, but
I
the
saw this
top.
coming full circle.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna keep coming. Hey,
finish
listen, it's
finish it.
pause.
I'm just messing with you, bro.
No. This is the equivalent.
You opened up Pandora's box.
This is the equivalent of putting 5 dudes that are all great at their job in front of Saquon Barkley so that he could get 2 yards per carry before he even gets to the line of scrimmage. There we go.
We're talking about the talent. There we go. We're talking about the talent.
By the way, just want to mention as a side note, this might be a little tingly.
Is this a meaty take?
No, it's not a stat. It's not a stat. I'm just kind of throwing something out there. Are we saying that maybe because Adam Schefter mentioned the Bears as a hypothetical destination, that maybe there's something he knows?
Hey,
He did do that.
Shefty knows.
He used us as a hypothetical destination.
Hey,
Shefty's got his
Is
connections.
that a Brian Windhorst thing?
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
Brian
that was
Whitworth.
Wendy when he did that.
That was Wendy.
Just saying,
Hey,
is there a
hey.
connection there?
By the way, as I've gotten further away from that moment, if nothing had happened, we still would have loved the clip. It just so happened they also traded Rudy Gobert after that for all the picks. Like, no, you got lucky, dog. I'm not buying that one. No, but I think like that's a great point there. I want to finish it by saying this: Shefty's dominating Rappaport.
Yep,
Shefty's cooking right now.
He's the man.
I mean, he's always done that though.
Shefty, hey, Rappaport was like,
They were.
Ben Johnson is a favorite to go to the Raiders. The Raiders was like, we didn't even offer him a contract.
Up.
Wait a minute.
Shefty came in like, no.
Shefty double burdened him on the way out the door. No, I think the bottom line with all of this is, the bottom line with all of this is you have the opportunity to go out and get somebody like this. If you can, I would. If you can get a generational, because it's not like, again, you can't fix the offensive line. You still can. You got the money. You got the money, pay somebody. Pay the money.
I mean, hey, listen, I'm not spending $34 million a year or whatever it's gonna cost to keep him if we're gonna have 8 wins though.
But you're not. He's a guaranteed 4-win guy.
He's
gonna give you 4 wins by himself. Look what happened in Cleveland.
Think about what he adding him does to Montez Sweat, what it does to Javon Dexter, what it does to Jalen Johnson, what it does to Tremaine Evans. Tremaine Evans has only looked useful with a pass rush. What it does to TJ Edwards, what it does to Tyreek Stevenson, what it does to Kevin Byard. Joel's hungry. A tiger just went off in your stomach, dog. I got scared a little bit. I choked.
Jeez. I don't know what's going on over here, but
Okay.
But
He's
no,
easily
man.
distracted.
Yeah, that was scary, dog. That was terrifying. No, man. I think that if I could, I would make the move.
Yep.
And I know it's gonna cost you a lot, but you don't get a Miles Garrett on the market every day.
If I'm giving up 2 first rounds, I could live with it. I just don't want to give up and mortgage the entire squad.
I think you're giving up a Mac deal.
But 2 first rounders.
The Mac deal only hurt because you before that also gave up multiple first round picks to go get Michigan.
And we fell apart.
Yeah.
We didn't sustain, like we didn't keep it going. The whole point is that this team is ascending, and if that first round pick turns into, right now it's a top 10 pick. If next year's pick turns into a late 20s, high 20s or something like that, or even later, then it doesn't hurt as bad. But if we can still keep our 2 second round picks and do this, I could live with that because I know my D line's fixed. Yeah. If we sign, once we got to see what free agency does first. That's how you build. It's free agency first, see who we're getting, and then after that, then the draft comes. So now we'll be able to see.
I love Baki comment. What it does to the Packers O-line.
Eats them alive.
What it does to everybody O-line.
Eats them alive.
Crimson said, it's not about who you add if you continue to neglect the offensive line. They're not.
We just said
multiple
that.
times.
We just said
still go pay the offensive line.
We did say that.
Yeah.
Did I say that?
Yeah.
I thought I said
we can
that.
do
All
that.
right, man.
But if the second
Same
round,
time.
you can get a starting tackle even in the second round. If this shifts your whole,
You can start tackling up to 5th rounds.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
If you shift your philosophy around, if you basically go and now you have to sign free agents, but the priority is that with the 2 second round picks, if we keep those, we still got to get a left tackle out of there. We still got to get an offensive lineman out of those picks. But we drafted basically Myles Garrett with the 10th overall pick.
Since you're like the 7-time Ultimate GM champion over here, I think we should listen to you. I think I
don't know about that. Let's not go
Let's
that.
pump the brakes.
I don't know.
I have
He needs to
successfully navigated
have a
3
suit
squads.
jacket. He needs to have a suit jacket and glasses because right now I listen to Miami Joel. I'm listening to this. Joel.
Miami Joel is different.
Miami Joel is a little
Right
violent.
now, this
He's
is
a little
Miami
crazy.
Joel.
Crazy.
I want to have a little have a little Myles Garrett going up against the Packers.
Yeah, I'm at
offensive
GOAT
line,
level,
huh?
by the way.
No.
Oh, we got 600 in the chat, by the way.
Oh, we did that one already.
No, we
Over
didn't.
600 in
We
the
did
chat.
600. We were
Alright.
climbing. We were 500 for a while.
Hey, man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Let us know how you guys feel about everything that we talked about in the comments below. We be getting after it sometimes on this show, man. We'll take your heads off. For the super producer, Joel Holt, the pettiest man alive, Mr. P Kid, Mr. Media himself, George JC, man, formerly known as Ringo J, Stefan the Don, Mr. Drew Better, you knew better, you do better, say who better, nobody, bro, and Superman C Dub. It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Bear Don, one love, C Red. What's y'all little weak one? Go White Sox. That's weak as heck too. And Hard Hawk Hockey.
One love.
There's a lot of
Go
bad.
Cubs, go!
Yeah.
Hey Chicago,
I'll
what do
tell you
you
one
say?
thing.
We're gonna win it.
Hey,
You know
man.
why we
Series
should get
next
Myles Garrett? Because if he ends up in
Nah, they
Minnesota or Detroit, we're gonna have a hard time.
Hey.
Soda.
You know who the betting favorite to get him is right now? The Buffalo Bills.
Ooh, that's nice.
Oh.
Ooh, that's nice.
I don't know how they do it
How?
because they got no money. No money.
Hey,
my money.
Adam was like, all these NFC teams got a good chance because I'm not trying to see him in my conference
Speaking of
or
no
my
money,
division. I'm about to send this man packing.